It's the first class on communication skills, right? Why did you attend for this communication skill class? Why are you here for this communication skill class? Please raise your hand so that you can answer. Yeah.
To learn more communication skills.
To?
Learn more communication.
You want to learn on communication skill. Okay, so you want a theoretical knowledge. Okay, good. Yeah.
Or develop my own communication skills.
So you want a practical session on communication.
So that I can convey my message.
You are too good, yeah.
So I want to make myself best in the communication field so that I can express my views
Okay.
in a very good way.
So what is that you are doing now? What are you doing now? What are you? What are you?
So I am in Indian Air Force.
Indian Air Force. Okay, you are not able to communicate well.
Your voice is not clear for me. So no reason we are unable to hear.
Is it that you are not able to communicate well now?
So I can communicate well, but sir, I want to improve myself.
You want to improve your communication skills. But you said you want to express your views.
Yeah, in a very good way and best way.
Note each point, okay? It's for all of us to learn together. Good. Next, last. Communicate effectively. Okay, next. Anybody else? Anybody else? That's all? You just joined, it is because some evening time pass for you. How many of you attended my earlier classes? None of you? Which course?
Personality learning.
Sunday batch. Evening batch. Okay. Anybody else? No. Yeah. Evening batch. Confidence building. Today morning. Okay. Who else? Personality development. Now tell me, why did you join for this after the personality development course? Nobody attending second time communication skill class right now? Many people attend again and again. Not to improve, see whether you improve or not. You want to see whether I have improved or not. Tell me, why do you attend for such a course? Let me ask you, when you read communication, what is communication?
The way you express your ideas.
Pardon?
The way you express your views to other person.
So it's only expressing views.
Thoughts to convey.
To convey?
Messages.
Convey the message.
Convey the feelings and thoughts. How will you make the other person important?
How you feel?
How will you make the other person important?
Make other person important. Okay. Anything else? I want all of you to think on this. Why did you join for a course and what do you understand by communication skill? How much you know so that I can build up from that. Any more ideas?
Influence people.
You want to influence people? Okay. So politicians influence people through communication. They give wonderful speech. Pardon?
To be fluent. Better.
You want to be fluent.
Yeah.
So for you communication means fluent expression of thoughts.
Thoughts.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
To get some professional guidance.
Professional guidance. Yeah. Good. The Air Force man want to express his views and ideas. And what do you do?
I'm working for a mining company.
Mining company. Okay. So you want to be professional.
Sales.
You have done professional course, BTech?
Yes.
Engineering course, yeah.
No, sir.
Management. MBA.
No, sir. BPM.
BBM. Okay, good. Anybody else? I want your views, yeah. Not enough. I'm not happy with you. I'm seeing you are not communicating properly. This is a communication skill course, right? Unless you communicate, if I only deliver something, it does not become communication. So I want your active participation so that you will get benefit. Personality development, confidence building, I just lecture. I don't ask like this in the beginning. I just do it only in communication skill class. That's because I want your response. I want to know how much you understand. What is that you are looking for? And I will deliver accordingly. Tell me. Not enough. I am not happy.
You express right point at right time.
Right point at right time. So wrong communication, wrong points, if you communicate, that does not become communication. You want to scold somebody, you must be able to right away scold them. Is it that? Tell me some more points. Not enough.
When we are trying to express our ways in front of you, we have some stage fear.
Now you have some stage fear. I am sure when somebody want to converse with each other, people are want to discuss with each other, you will have many points to say, right? And I am asking, you are not telling why. You think that what other fellow will think if I tell something wrong, right? Yes? You must get out of that. That's the communication skill class. So you tell me, each one of you should tell. Those who don't tell, I will call them here and then make them to say. So which one you want? Sitting there you want to communicate, you must start now. Otherwise I am going to pull each one of you. It's a communication skill course, not a theoretical class. You will get skilled here. Tell me. Practical course. Tell me. Tell me, why did you join for this? You want me to pull you here? Okay, then tell me from there.
Mainly I joined in communication to communicate with people in a proper way and to also understand the views.
See, she has put a wonderful right point. It's not to communicate. What she wants? She wants to understand what others are communicating. So you understood now what I am asking. Okay, till now you did not. Okay, tell me next. What is that?
I want to do job in BPOs.
So when you do job in BPO, you want to, over telephone you want to talk. So you can only talk over telephone, but not like this. Professionally developing. What's that you want? Next. Effective. Okay, next. Very fast.
I want to do jobs, so I want to improve my skills.
Yeah.
I want to improve my skills content.
That's general. Improve communication skill, therefore communication skill course. I want some specific reason for you. From last. Those who did not. Yeah. Anybody else? What do you say?
Interact with people.
Pardon?
Communicate with people.
To communicate with the people. Okay.
To express views, feelings and thoughts to get better understanding.
Next.
To face interviews.
To face interviews. Okay. So you are good outside but not inside the room.
I'm thinking.
Okay, good. No, it's all valid points. I will touch upon all these, what points you are talking, okay? That's why I'm asking you. I want your expectations. There is no point in go on delivering something and you don't have any expectation, that's not satisfied, right? Tell me. I want to set a direction on this. Tell me, what is it? Professional. Okay. Next. Back. Fast. Don't waste time. Back.
Sharing the ideas and thoughts with other people.
Next. That yellow bunion on the back. WHO. You want to improve yourself. Okay. Physically, emotionally, intellectually, socially, spiritually. Okay, next. That's what to communicate to others. What do you say? Check shirt. Second.
To be better in understanding. To be better in understanding
Better in understand. So you join it. Okay. Next.
myself and to continue with quality and
Okay. I think I understand all of you. You have a lot of confusions in understanding what is communication. Most of you doesn't know what is communication. That's a problem. And you joined here. You don't understand the difference between communication and conversation. Expressing your ideas, thoughts, feelings, discussing with your friend, except interview, all the point what you said does not come under communication. It is just a conversation and each one of you are good in that. And somebody wanted fluent. In your mother tongue you are fluent. When communication doesn't mean using English language. You get mistook. Communication means fluently talking in English. No. In your mother tongue also if you are good, that's communication. Right? Communication doesn't mean you talk something in the other language. Communication doesn't mean you express fluently. Communication doesn't mean effectively you do it. It's all under normal conversation. You can effectively make somebody understand what you feel, right? You can fluently or non-fluently talk to somebody and make others understand. That path, individual, interrelationship, interpersonal communication, this all comes under conversation. It does not come under communication. So I will explain you what is the difference between communication and conversation first. Okay? Each one of us are good in expressing our ideas. Feelings, you said feelings, right? No? So that means your idea should come with a feeling. That's good. When you get angry, your idea, the other person should understand that you are getting angry. With the feeling only, you should scold, right? No? With smilingly, you cannot scold somebody. Correct? So your feeling has come, your idea has gone, expressing has gone, everything is perfect. When you want to tell somebody, they will also understand what you are saying. That's just conversation. In communication, now I am trying to communicate to you. I am not trying to converse with you. My idea is, in this class, I must tell you what communication is. Not to influence you. Somebody says communication is to influence. I am not trying to influence you. I am trying to tell you what communication is in the class. Fine? At the end of the class, each one of you should have at least a few idea about the communication skill. Yes or no? In conversation, you will talk to your friend 5 hours. At the end of 5 hours, you start thinking, what did we discuss here? Nothing will be there, only gas. Does it not happen? But you have expressed all your feelings, ideas, everything is there, but no subject matter. In communication, there is a subject matter. You understood? In an interview board, you communicate, there is a subject matter. In normal expressing feelings and all, need not have a subject matter. So, your conversation, all of us are good. If you can talk, if you can listen, you are good in conversation. But what is that you are not good? In communication. So what is the difference in communication and conversation? You should have subjective. You should have some message. At the end of 1 hour, if somebody asks you what did you learn, you must be able to tell 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So I am going to do that at the end of this class. I will ask questions on all the points what I tell you now. Okay? So it defines communication and conversation. Clear? No confusions on that? Now, in communication, if somebody asks me to talk about the Telangana issue in Hyderabad, now, all of you can talk to each other on this issue, discuss with your friend, without knowing anything about this background of Telangana. Correct, no? You may not know what Telangana is, which districts are covered there, who is creating this problem, is it a real problem or is it a real issue? You will not know anything, but still you can discuss with your friend. If the friend is not in favor of it, he is not agreeing with you, or you feel bored with him. If your friend is bored with you, what you will say? You will change the subject. Correct? And you will talk about Telugu Desam Party or Chiranjeevi, or you talk about the Congress or about the cricket, something else, and then you also talk about where you have to go for eating in the which hotel you have to go, what you should eat. All that will come, again you will come back to Telangana. Does it not happen? When you converse with your friend, this happens. In communication, assume you are writing a letter. Assume you are writing a letter, official letter. You are writing an article. You are giving a lecture. Can you do this in between? Can you stop in between and go and come back and then continue the discussions? It can never be. It should have a format. complete by itself. A message should go and it should have content within that. If you want to do that, what you should have first? Knowledge. Who said that? Raise your hands, Amma. Knowledge. So, what is that you want for communication is knowledge. For expressing idea, your views, you don't require knowledge. You understood the difference? So, for communication, the first point what you require is knowledge. I don't know anything about it. I will just ask like this and get some idea. So, you want knowledge. Assume I have sufficient knowledge. You go for interview, you have sufficient knowledge. Why you are not able to tell inside the room? Outside you can talk about the same. What is that? Fear. For communication, you should not have fear. Very good, no?
Wisdom.
Pardon?
Should have wisdom.
You should have wisdom.
But it's what we are telling.
What you are telling. You must be able to put it in the nice format. Correct, no? Then what else?
Good confidence.
That automatically the fear, negative confidence. Negative of confidence is fear. Next. You? Straightforward, need not. There are articles being written which is called the reductio absurd method. You tell first somebody that I am a mathematician basically, PhD is in mathematics, okay? So we write articles saying that pure mathematics is bad mathematics. You know what? Because I am a pure mathematician, I want to say that pure mathematics is good. We put the negative on the top and start deducting and saying at the end whatever I said in the beginning is wrong. Therefore, pure mathematics is a good mathematics. It's called reductio absurd method. So that everybody will get attracted. The title and the first few paragraphs is to attract people. It's nice that you said. So, a communication become effective, E and A both. Effective and effective. Okay? Effective, E effective, EFF and AFF both. Look at the dictionary and learn the meaning. Okay? Effective and effective only when you use some techniques in communication. In conversation you don't use this technique. You are open, frank, as you wish. But in communication, what you do? You make a lot of tricks. Okay? So you need to format it wisely, nicely, effective and effective. So all these called objectives have to be met for that. People should get attracted. When you are discussing with your friend during conversation, if the friend is not accepting, you can change the topic. Now I cannot change the topic because my given job is to talk about communication skill. Assume you are not interested, can I talk something else and then go? Not permitted. So I am supposed to do it. And I am looking at each one of your face. There is no single face on which I have not looked at. Why? I am looking at your response. If any one of you is not in line with me, I know somebody is not in line with me, but I will wait. I have patience. He has no patience, okay? And after some time he will get convinced. We look at each one of you and see overall 80 to 90% is getting convinced, following my language, you are with me, then I will continue. Assume you are not, then what I will do? I will change my pace, change the way in putting it. This can be done during communication, verbal communication. That means during lectures, during talk, but you cannot do it while writing books and essays. Correct, no? But while writing books and essay, you have another advantage. If you don't understand, you can turn back and forth and then reread it. But in verbal communication, you cannot say pause, forward, backward, you can't do it. Right, no? So in verbal communication, you must be much more careful, much more confident. In writing and sending to somebody else is not a big joke. Not that easy. It becomes according. Now in verbal communication, what exactly you need is, you need to get your attention here. When I say I need to get your attention, I showed like this. Who asked me to show like this? It comes natural. When I said it comes natural, what did I do? I did this. From where the naturality comes? It comes from my heart. So I said natural. If I don't do this and talk like this, will you appreciate? No. So each point I am showing my feeling with expressions. So in a good communication, verbal communication, body language is important. But some people do only body language without topic, dancers. They communicate a message. Need not to be. But you must know how to vibrate it, how to modulate it. Okay? I asked a few questions and looked at you like this. Did I not? What did you do? Each one of you started thinking on that subject. Make the people who are in front of me to think. When you think, you feel hungry. Hungry for knowledge. If you don't think, you have no hungry for knowledge. You just come here and then sit. I asked you, what for you came? So far, you must not even thought about why did I join for communication skill. There is a board, communication skill. Today I am free. Next 5 days evening, I could have a job. Seriously, did you know why communication skill? What is that you want? You must not even thought about it. You could also done it. As soon as go back home, take the dictionary, look at what is communication. Did any one of you do that? No. You can learn yourself, but you never do it. If I don't ask, I'm sure now today, half of you will go and look at dictionary and understand the difference between conversation and communication. Correct, no? So it instigates you to learn. That's my message. My message is to instigate you to learn. I cannot teach you communication skill in one hour or maybe 5 hours. Nobody can give you communication skill. We can only give you a base where you can grow yourself. What are the points what you should look at? So first thing, you should have knowledge. All these are essential. Now I have given 1 hour. Correct, no? Too much of traffic. I came 5 minutes, 7 minutes late. Driving from Malkajgiri generally it takes 20 minutes. And today I drove exactly at 5:30 and I reached here at 6:40. More than 70 minutes. It's not in my control. Now, when we have got 1 hour, I am supposed to give you some subject. Maybe if I am not good, I may take 3 hours to tell all my points to you. I have few points on communication skill. If somebody asks me how much time you want to talk about communication skill, I say 3 hours. I do 1 day full workshop on communication skill with a lot of activities around. Make people to run, lot of group discussions, lot of arguments, lot of stage activities and all that. During my personality development courses for 2 days workshop at Anandapur, I am there on 8th and 9th and 10th, Saturday and Sunday. This coming Saturday and Sunday. I make all of them to be on stage. There will be a lot of fighting activities, group activity, role play, all that will be done. And during that time, it's 2 days program. If somebody asks me to talk about communication skill for 1 hour, I said, no, I cannot. I can only talk for 2 hours. Assume somebody Rotary Club calls me to talk about communication skill, they say only 20 minutes. I cannot say that I will talk only 1 hour, not 20 minutes. You understood what I am trying to say? If somebody is asking me to write an essay on Telangana issue, I say I can write only 3 pages. If somebody asks me 1 page, no, 1 page I cannot write. I can write only 3 pages. Do you think he is a good communicator? A communicator must be able to put it in the format given. You understood what I said? That picture is nearly 1.5 meter by 75 centimeters. Correct? Okay, this picture. Don't have to look back. So this picture is nearly 1 meter by 1.5 meters. Vivekananda's picture. The artist is a wonderful artist. I give him a small paper and ask him, please draw this picture. He will say, no, I can only draw picture with this size, not smaller. Do you call him as an artist? Assume you ask a small child to draw this picture and give a small paper, you know what they will do? They will draw only the turban and say that to give another paper draw. Correct, no? A good communicator is a communicator who can communicate in the given format. Let it be 1 minute, let it be 10 minutes, let it be 5 minutes, let it be hours together. He must be able to communicate. No restrictions on the format. But given format, he must be able to communicate totally. Not that half portion. Totally he should be able to communicate. You understood, no? So in communication, you must be able to format it, put it in text style or in art style. This also communicates. Picture also communicates a lot. That picture communicates a lot of things, right? Does it have a verbal communication? Text communication? Graphical communication? Picture communication? Video communication? Audio communication? Signal communication? That's also possible. Correct, no? Now, in the main road when you drive, you have green light, red light. What does it communicate? Stop. Assume you don't know that language. A person who never driven in the city from a small village comes and drives. He see green, red, yeah, how beautiful. No? He just drives because he has never seen a signal light. So that communication you understand only when you know the language, right? Now I am talking to you in English. Not English, Manglish, Malayalam mixed English, okay? And you don't understand Manglish because you are a Tenglish man, Telugu mixed English. Now, if I talk to the real English people, they will ask you which language you are talking, because they don't understand our English. Correct, no? They will ask you which language you are talking, because our English is not what they understand. Now, more effectively, the language is important. I was in Anandapur talking to 3,800 students in December 3rd. 3,800 students. Nearly half of them don't understand English at all. Telugu medium, only Telugu they understand. But still I could communicate to them. Hold them for 6 hours. You know why? It comes from the heart. Sometimes language is not important, but sometimes language is important. You don't have to have a fabulous English to express all your ideas. Little bit of English is enough. Little bit of Telugu is enough. Language is important for some people it's not important. Now you are talking to small kids on communication skill. I am talking to all the PhDs in English on communication skill. Will I convey the same thing? Will I by heart something and then start delivering the things? So in communication, what matters more is not the speaker who is important. The audience is important. That's why I asked you a few questions to know what standard you have and where should I start. It's always important to know whom you are communicating before communicating. I just did it, I know your background, I just did it to convey this message to you. Never start communicating to somebody if they don't understand what you are communicating. So, know the people before communicating. And each one of us have got a prejudice in our mind. We start thinking on something. Each word when I talk, each sentence when I talk, each meaning when I try to convey, it goes to your ear, it goes to your brain, it goes to your manas, and then manas and buddhi will start communicating each other. Then what it will do? It will understand. Then what you will do? You will see, his English is not good. You don't understand the meaning at all. You are not worried about the subject. You are only thinking about, instead of children, he used children's. Grammatical mistake. Some people will just catch this. And nothing else will go in them. Because he will think, how should I catch him before I get out of this class, after the class? I will tell him you don't know grammar. And all this communication becomes waste. They get stuck on something. They are not good listeners. Some people start comparing. Oh, I attended another class. That was personality development. That was confidence building, in which he had a different style. Now he has a different style. You start judging. You start comparing my personality development or communication skill class with somebody's. Pronunciation comparison. You start analyzing. You start judging. You start criticizing instead of listening. You understood what I mean? Except listening, everything else will happen. Therefore, in communication become effective both E and A together only when people listen, and nobody listens. Nobody listens in the class. You start. What is that? You start. What do? You listen, you hear, and refer it to the dictionary. Take the word, take the grammar, try to compare. Understand that, and after understanding, what you will do? You pursue the knowledge. You have a perception. This means this. I mean something, but that is not the meaning which each one of you will get. because your background is different, my background is different, right? So you have a perception. That's why in communication generally people say the perceiver. Who is the perceiver? Who sits in the class. The perceiver perceives the way the perceiver like to perceive and not the way the speaker wants the perceiver to perceive. It's not the way the speaker wants the perceiver to perceive, but you will perceive in your own style. This is what happens in communication. Therefore, communication becomes failure. Therefore, if you want communication to be effective, you need good listeners. Otherwise, communication will never become. You ask the people who are giving public lecture, influence in a Maidan, thousands and thousands of party workers, and the leader speaks. You call one of them and ask, who is that leader? What is that he is talking about? They do not know anything. Does it mean you are communicating to them? No. In communication, each one of you must get some point, at least a few points. Let it be in your perception, but you should have perception. May not be exactly what I have, but some perception should be there. I am not trying to say that grammar is not important. Grammar is very, very important. Each word has to be very important. You analyze each word what I speak, identify one mistake in that. Very difficult. I taught grammar when I was just in graduation. Those days, told tenses, no, you just ask the verb, we will know. You need English if you want to communicate in English. And you need wonderful English? No. You need English without mistakes. Because what happens is, what I said, a mistake is enough for somebody else to catch, and he will not follow you. Therefore, you become a failure. Because of your mistake, he is not able to follow. It's not his mistake. Some people are very critical, especially teachers. They always take a reading and start looking at mistakes. You write a wonderful book and give it to somebody. They will say, no, in 330th page, third line, second paragraph, there is a mistake. You have not seen anything else? So many topics which I discuss in that, wonderful poetry which I write, they will tell there is one mistake in that. Instead of is, it is it. Some typing mistakes are there, right? No, they will see only that. There are some people who are not good listeners, good critics. So never try to be a critic if you want to be a good communicator. As a listener, you must be open. Okay? If you start criticizing, if assume you have a doubt, you must be able to write down in a paper and then keep it. Always keep. A good communicator always keep some newspapers with him. Nice blank papers with him. I don't talk anything which I don't practice. Always keep something. You know why? Blank papers only. I must have, if I have some doubt, if my thought process is going something, I'll keep writing and then keep it there. So that I can ask somebody tomorrow. That's the only way to learn. Keep a paper with you and start writing. Any thought process you must be able to ask somebody. Write it and keep it. Otherwise what happens is, this thought process will haunt you and you will not be able to do any other job. All other job will get stuck. A good communicator always have got something to refer, something to write, something to talk. He keeps on learning subjects every point of time and prepare himself to be in the format. So first thing, knowledge. Second one, language. And assume I have to draw a picture, I must have an idea first. And what I need at least some paint. That paint is your knowledge. That language which you use in case of verbal. In case of a picture, it's the paint which I use. The tool is required. And then the paper is the tool, the format in which I am expressing the audience in terms of verbal. You understood what I am trying to say? For a speaker, for an artist. For a speaker and an artist. What is the comparison? I should have knowledge and an artist must have ideas. And for a speaker, he needs language. For an artist, he needs paint. And for a speaker, you need audience. And for an artist, he want no audience. He want a canvas. Right? And how much? The background of the canvas. Are you putting on oil? On leather? On paper? On wall? That decides which paint you will use. Right? The audience, which category you belong to. Are you small children? Higher class. Based on that, language will change. The way of presentation will change. Similarly, the artist will decide based on the canvas. If it is leather, he use a different paint. Fabric, he use fabric paint. Normal paper, he use either oil paint or watercolor. The small kid, he use crayons. Right now? So to whom you are, based on that the canvas is filled. And after writing, depends on how much time you have in the verbal, depends on how much size of the paper you have. You know the comparison now? So communication doesn't only mean verbal, it could be picture, it could be signal, it could be dance. You know that in communication there are a lot of things. Earlier, in our childhood, we never had TV, we had only radio. Nowadays, drama used to come in radio. What used to come in radio? Drama. Drama is a visual, seeing, visual. Correct, no? Audio, visual. You must hear and you must also see. But you imagine. And that becomes effective through the modulation of the sound. They can make the expressions clear to you. You know who is there. You can imagine. All that can be imagined. Now, that communication is not handicapped. It is totally effective. Even though it's a drama which is to be seen, without seeing you can imagine. How wonderful is that right now? So, a communication can be effective even if it is handicapped. You understood? The language is not good, but still it can be effective. You must compensate somewhere. Now, nice drum beat, it communicates something to you, some nice music, provided you know music. If you don't know music, drum beat becomes a disturbance to you. Correct? A nice dancer dances well. If you don't understand what is the subject matter, you will just see it as only some actions. But if you know the subject, that becomes different. Therefore, in communication, understanding is at Shabdatalam, that's at sound level, Bhavatalam, that's at dance level or the action level. When you speak, you have this Shabdam and Bhavam also together. Shabdatalam, Bhavatalam, Arthatalam. You can have nice, wonderful Shabdam, wonderful Bhavam also, but Artham is not there, no content. If content is not there, will it become complete? A dancer dances nicely, nice steps, but no story inside that. Will you enjoy it? You will enjoy that moment, but after some time you will not remember it. If there is a nice story, you will remember it forever. So content will make you to remember totally for a long time to enjoy. Just at Shabdatalam and Bhavatalam, you will enjoy it momentarily. So this communication class becomes effective not when you sit in front of me and then forget me after some time. Today, after the class, one girl met me who attended one of my personality development class. And when she went back home on 13th December, I took a class here, evening session. And then when she went home and then said, today somebody spoke to me like this, and this is the Dr. Shashikumar. And her sister says, 6 years back I attended sir's class. How do somebody remember 6 years back I attended my class? Many people send me emails soon after attending the class. That's all normally happens. But assume each one of you remember me after 8 years, 6 years, that means I am effective. You must remember, a person become effective only when you carry him for longer time. Okay, so communication becomes effective. You must remember, oh, I had a class like this. You hear 101 classes, many lectures, but how many of them are in your brain? How many of them are in your heart? Quite few. No, very few. Sometime. Yeah, if somebody is there in your manas, affecting you, oh, this is slightly different. That becomes a good communication. So what is important is not formatting sometime, reaching at Rejanatal. It's called a catharsis in the communication skill. Verbatim. Now, all these are possible. And how do you do this? Not just language, not just action. All these mixed together. And how do you mix them? I am using my eyes for communicating, right? I am looking each one of you. I am listening to you when I am talking to you, I am listening to you. I asked questions and I got response. And I am so casual. Do you think I am formatted, very serious? I just started conversing with you. Where did I start? Conversation. But what I am doing really? Communication. This is what you should do. A good communicator feels like I am talking to each one of you. Like I am talking to you, like a conversing to you. The format is there, time is there, format is there, subject is there, actions are there, feelings are there, everything is there. But with the casual feeling of conversation, you are doing a communication. You understood? With casual feeling of conversation, you are doing a communication. Assume you are attending an interview, why you are not able to answer? Because you are too much into communication and less of conversation. But assume the interview board happens very casual to you. Ask you some questions. I asked you, Air Force. I asked the yellow banyan. Why did I do that? Who will tell like this? Only your close friend, right? Correct, no? So I am reaching to you. So when I reach to you, you take me as close friend and then start communicating something. In an interview board, when somebody asks you a question, they are standing somewhere, you are somewhere else, there is a level difference, you feel worried. Now assume they become so friendly to you, you will be able to answer. How can you can also make it friendly? I remember when I went for an interview as a director of an academic staff college a few years back. I was a scientist in Department of Space. My subject is something else, computer science, photogrammetry, mapping, image processing. I went for a job in Kerala, Calicut University as a director for academic staff college. And the interview board, the chairman who is the vice chancellor asked me one question. Why did you come for this job leaving a government job which is much higher paid, and in university they don't pay that much because it's a central government, that's state government. Why did you come for this job? Very serious interview, right? 3 vice chancellors, somebody from UGC, very serious. I know I will not get this job because I am not a teacher. It's generally reserved for the senior most professor in the university, and I never became a professor there. I was hardly 39 years old. Generally in that post people will reach after 55 only. Third in the university hierarchy. I never expected. So I am very casual. Since it is my hometown, I thought I will just meet these people and went to them. They asked me, why did you come for this job? And I smilingly asked, sir, have you decided to give me the job? Then he got shocked. Why did you ask like this? Sir, I came for interview and you are saying I came for job. You know the difference? Came for interview doesn't mean came for job. Correct, no? After the interview, if they give me appointment, I should decide whether I come for job or not. Yeah, he got a shock. He said, yeah, right. No, why did you come for interview? He said, wonderful, sir. 3 vice chancellors in front of me. 150 rupees was the fees for the application. For 150 rupees, you can get 3 vice chancellors in front of you. Great, no? So cheap to get a vice chancellor in front of you half an hour. Is it possible? Will they give you appointment? They will give you disappointment only. Right, no? So therefore, 150 rupees, I got 3 vice chancellors in front of me. They all started smiling. I said, no, cool. No, nothing to ask. And you ask me, why do you want to meet vice chancellor? Sir, you are one of the best glaciologists in the world. Oh, he became great. Yeah, nobody knew in the interview board he was a glaciologist. They know him only as vice chancellor. His background was never known. But what do I do now when I go for interview? I just attend interviews for jokes. It's a nice way of meeting people, right? No, they will never forget you. Otherwise, you can't meet people like this. Then he said, how do I know? You know that I am a glaciologist? Sir, I also work in glaciology. I never work in glaciology, but just I read a few things on glaciology. I do something on glaciology, but not related to his field. I do something else on glaciology. And therefore, I started searching who is the vice chancellor of Calicut University, learn as much as I can about him and what could be the probable vice chancellors who are there. Generally, 3 vice chancellors, they will pick up from Kerala. So I know this vice chancellor is a language expert from MG University. This is a vice chancellor from Calicut University who is a glaciologist. Learn everything. You become very cool because you know who are. Most of the people when they attend for interview, what did I say in communication? You must know whom to you are talking. Know the background of the people. It is true even in the interview board. When you go for a job, you go for a job. You don't know what job you are applying. You must know what for you are going there. What job you are going and what are the qualifications required. Why do you take this job? Why and how I will fit to that. What could be the probable questions if I sit on the other side. All that you prepare and go becomes very simple for you. And the Vice Chancellor in the MG University asked me only one question. Sir, do you do yoga? They started calling me sir. Sir, do you do yoga? I said, yeah, I do yoga. But not the yoga which you know. Yoga means something else for me, I said. So it takes very casual. Don't worry to whom you are talking. If you don't have that freeness in your mind, you cannot be effective. And I got the job. Very, very simple. You can influence people just by nice words. Keyuranina bhushayanti purusham harana chandrojjalam nasnanam nakusumam navilepanam etc. etc. What bhushanam? Words are important. Doesn't matter what dress which you wear. Whether you wear lot of vibhuti or not. Correct, no? Whether you put lot of kusumam or not, lot of ornaments or not. Doesn't matter. What bhushanam. Nice words will assess you. Vivekananda was traveling on the road in America and somebody pulled his turban. He has got a very peculiar way of dressing. Nobody else in the world dress up like this. Try if you can. Somebody pulled his turban. He turned back and asked. He has fabulous English, fantastic English. He asked the question, why gentleman, why you are pulling my turban? They never expected such a good English from such a Swamiji, an Indian. They never thought he will have such a fabulous English. Oh, you speak good English? We thought you are not a cultured man. Vivekananda answered back, in your land, tailor makes a gentleman. In our land, culture makes a gentleman. You can nice dress, you can stitch, a tailor does it. And put it, you will become gentleman. But in India, your conversation, interpersonal relationship matters. And always try to use the best language. You can do it only when your manas is clean. If you don't have your manas clean, words will not come clean. Because each word comes from manas. All indriyas are functioning because the manas is there. And the manas is the software which controls the input-output device. Okay? And the knowledge is there, the hardware. Hard disk. Where is the hard disk? That's a brain. And it consults. The software manas goes and picks up and then brings it down to communicate. And communication happens very freely. Paripu vada, dal vada, masala vada, murchi bhaji. Was this murchi bhaji in your manas? Was it there? It was not there now, right? No? When I told this murchi bhaji, what happened? It came to your manas. How did it come? I pronounced something, it reached into your ear, it went to the software, checked whether it is there in the RAM. So it says, no Marchi Bhaji here. It refers to the hard disk, download that and kept it there. And all the parameters also. Marchi Bhaji smell. Next, Indriya. Yeah, Marchi Bhaji, the sound came, taste also will come now. Shape. Marchi Bhaji's shape is there inside you. You know, all the indriyas become very active to accept. You know, for each word, how much communication happens inside your body? From manas, buddhi, indriya, all that happens. Is it in your control? No, it's not in your control. And this communication is called internal communication. If your internal communication is perfect, your external communication becomes perfect. So what is more important is a good internal communication. That means a good manas. If you don't have good manas, you can never be a good communicator. You will tell something, but the people will understand entirely different. I am telling you the truth. The person knows whether you are telling truth or not. Correct, no? If the manas is clean, whatever you say will become truth. You don't have to tell, I am telling you the truth. I am telling you. Who is telling you? It's your manas. If your manas is saying, you will never say, I am telling you. It's when you get angry, you will tell this, I am telling you, why? Because you know it's not you who is telling, your angriness is telling that. Correct, no? So never add too much of feeling inside your verbatim, inside your language, then the language communication becomes bad communication. Priya vakya pradhanena sarve tushyantu jantavaha tasmat tadeka vaktavyam vajaneka daritira. Priya vakya pradhanena sarve tushyantu jantavaha. In communication, you must use the nice, wonderful words, make people happy. Don't scold anybody. Okay? Priya vakya pradhanena. Only nice words you should tell. If you scold also, you should tell, beautiful girl, you are not good. And become happy. Oh, somebody is scolding me like this. First time, no, ever. Priya Vakya Pradhanena Sarve Tushyantu Jandavaha. Everybody will be happy. Tasma Tadega Vaktavyam. Why couldn't you tell these nice words? Vajanega Daridrida. Why you want to be confused in using nice words? No extra charges, no roaming charges, no recharge, no coverage problem. You can use words nicely, right now? You can influence people only with good communication. And communication here is conversation. Casually when you discuss. You can also use the same thing when you are talking to an audience. Did I make jokes? Yes. Did I give you serious matters? Yes. Did I get it in mixed fashion? Yes. And that influences people. You can use different languages, doesn't matter. When communicating, generally what happens is it collects information from the brain and start communicating. You know what happens? It mixes many things together. It depends on your mood. Son, daughter, nice words, right now? Dog, nice word, right now? But when you get angry, you will know what you will do? Mix these two words and use it. Does it not happen? So when you get angry, this mixing happens in the brain or in the manas. It happens in the manas. Your manas gets vibrated, every communication becomes bad. Therefore, clean your manas. Walk, communication means walk only, right now? Because all of us don't understand this picture or signal as communication. You are only discussing about verbal communication, not even scriptures, writing, paragraphs and all that. In verbal communication, you want to be very clean. Your manas have to be clean because vak comes from manas. Vak, mana. Where does the manas get these words? How did I say mirchi bhaji? Because I have seen mirchi bhaji. What you have not seen, what you have not heard, what you have not felt, what you have not thought about, you cannot express. So vak, mana, chakshu, srotra, grana, jihvaredo, buddhyapati, sankalpame shuddhyanta. That sankalpam has to be clean, manas have to be clean to be a good communicator. So try to be as good as you can and practice all this communication. One communication professor from Noida, with whom I was in Delhi, used to have classes in communication classes in Noida. The professor says, you want to learn the local language? Take a recorder, go to an auto shop and scold him. Badmash, Bimar. He will tell you something back, record it. And then by heart it and go and tell this to another auto rickshaw driver. He will scold you back, record it again. So you will learn language, local language. So language is not important sometimes. Language is important to converse. Communication language is entirely different. You cannot use that language in either in written or in verbal communication. Have you understood something? This is all what I could do in 1 hour. I just spoke to you 52 minutes. Okay, I was 8 minutes late. So you have 8 more minutes from me.